All right, so our last problem for today, reads as follows. This is what we have. X plus 2y equals to 1, and then x over 3 plus y over 2 equals to 1. Again, we must solve for x and we must solve for y using these two equations. Remember, what we do is we solve these two simultaneously. Now, there's a problem here. X and y are in a form of a fraction. And then this one is just x plus 2y. So this one is actually easy to solve. Now, before we can use substitution or elimination, we need to simplify this equation. That is, we need to remove the fraction. So what we do here is this. Three into 6, 2 times 2x plus 3y. So 2x plus 3y is equivalent to 6. Everything is all over 6. Now, since the denominator is the same for all of them, we just have to take the numerator. So now our equation 2 reads as follows. 2x plus 3y is equivalent to 6. So this is our equation 2. What is our equation 1? X plus 2y equals to 1. Again, we can use substitution or elimination. Now, remember, always look for the easiest of the two equations. So this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. Now, equation 1 is the easiest one. And so therefore, I can maybe solve for x here, or I can solve for y here, and then substitute for y or x on the other side. So x is equivalent to 1 minus 2y. And then, this is my, let me just call this one equation 3. And so therefore, on the next equation, I'm going to substitute for x. So that equation is 2, 1 minus 2y plus 3y, this is equivalent to 6. And so therefore, 2 minus 4y plus 3y is equivalent to 6. This one is going to be, we take this one to that side, and then we're going to have 4, 2 minus 2 this side, so 6 minus 2 is going to be 4. And then this one is minus 4y plus 3. This is going to be minus y. So minus y is equivalent to 4, but we don't want minus y, we want y. And so then what we do is multiply by negative 1 on both sides, and therefore y is equivalent to minus 4. Now that y is equivalent to minus 4, then it's easy for us to solve for x. Remember, x is equivalent to 1 minus 2y. So 1 minus 2 minus 4. X equals to 1 minus 2y, and then we substitute for y here, which is minus 4. So 2 minus 2 multiplied by minus 4 is going to be plus 8. So 1 plus 8 is going to be equivalent to 9. So your x is equivalent to 9. So let's see if this is the case. Let's take the first equation. X plus 2y equals to 1. X is equivalent to 9 plus 2 multiplied by minus 4. Now this is going to be minus 8. 9 minus 8 is going to be equivalent to 1. So therefore, x is equivalent to 9 as well as y is equivalent to minus 4. Alright, so if we are to solve this graphically, then what can we do? As I said earlier, you must use these equations to mx plus c. Remember, c is the y-intercept. So let's see. The first one, you have 2y is equivalent to minus x plus 1. And then y is equivalent to minus x over 2 plus 1 over 2. And then the next one, you're going to have, you take x to that other side, y over 2 is equivalent to 1 minus x over 3. And then you multiply by 2 that other side, y is equivalent to 2 minus 2x over 3, or y is equivalent to minus 2x over 3 plus 2. So now look at our two equations. Now the first one, y equals to minus x over 2 plus half. And then the other one is y equals to minus 2 over 3x plus 2. And so therefore, this equation, the y-intercept is 2, while this one is 1. So I just made up a graph here quickly. Now, what you can do here is the following. Now that you have your two equations, do the following. If y is equivalent to 0, what is going to be the value of x? And then on the second equation, if y is equivalent to 0, what is going to be the value of x? Why is that important? We would like to know that because if you know where the line crosses the x-axis and we know where it crosses the y-axis, we don't have to worry about plotting the rest of the points because everything else is going to be easy. Now, so for the first equation, if y is equivalent to 0, what is x? X over 2 is equivalent to 1 over 2, meaning x is equivalent to 1. Meaning, so therefore, the first equation crosses the x-axis at x is equivalent to 1. Now, what about this one? If y is equivalent to 0, what is the value of x? Well, 2 over 3 x is equivalent to 2. Meaning 2x is equivalent to 6, x is equivalent to 3. So this line crosses the x-axis at x is equivalent to 3. And so therefore, let's see. The first one crosses the y-axis at half, and then it crosses the x-axis at 1. So meaning alright, so this is our line y equals to minus x over 2 plus half. Then let's look at the second one. The second one crosses y at 2 and crosses the x-axis at 3. So this one like this. Alright, so as you can see with my graph, the second equation, 2, 3 here, what do they meet? X is equivalent to 9, and then the second equation, half here, 1, and then now where do they meet? In the y-axis, now at y equals to minus 4. What is important here, remember, is the following. You must reduce your equations to the following format: y equals to mx plus c. Now that you have your equations like this, c is the y-intercept. If you have c, the y-intercept is easy. That is, you already know exactly where the line is going to cross the y-axis, which is the c. Now, how do we know the point where the line crosses the x-axis? Well, if you have the equation in this format, then equate y to 0, then you solve for x. The value you get for x there is going to give you the value where the line is going to cross the x-axis. For instance, as you can see in the first equations here, which is y equals to minus x over 2 plus half. Now the line crosses the x-axis x 1, and then 1, sorry. Then the second equation, the line crosses the x-axis at 3. So if you already know these two intercepts, then you just place your ruler and then you just draw. Then the lines will intercept. If they intercept, if they don't intercept, then what does that mean? It means there is no solution. All right. And so therefore, we are done with our work for today. Thank you. Don't you worry. I think now we are done with chapter 4. We can move on to something else. I'll see. Maybe we should go back to factorizations a little bit. But just hit me up on those comments, and then we'll see what topics you guys would like me to discuss next. Thank you very much, everybody, and remember to stay safe. Thank you, everybody, and peace. Bye-bye.